Okay, welcome to iRacing Lime Rock. Using the new qualifying system, so I'm on pole by about a tenth of 57. Sorry, 58.7. If only I could do 57s. Thankfully, starting on the inside. Let's see if I can get a good start here. Got to keep it on a pretty tight. Let's just keep it tight on the inside. Okay. Let's keep it tight, roll it around. Field coming up behind us. So far so good. This tricky uphill. A little bit of a squirm there. Just typical for Lime Rock. Not tight enough on the apex there. So building up a little bit of a gap. Well, it's pretty decent so far. No problems down to turn 1. But here we have a car exiting pit lane right in front of us, which is going to be an issue. I really needed to have, in fact I was thinking before the race I need to have like 5 laps of just putting in really solid times. But this is going to be awkward. Don't recognise the name, so I don't know how he's going to drive. Looks a little bit uncertain. This is pretty much exactly how I didn't want it. I'm car number 13 out of a 15 car field, so it should be a fairly strong strength for field race. Is he going to let me by on the straight? Nope. Not under much threat at the moment, but I really need to get past him. The field's getting strung out behind us. Get tight on here. He's running way wide there. He's running a really poor line. Yeah, this is starting to become a worry. I've got to get tight on him coming out of the last corner. There's a pretty poor corner there for me. I'm a little bit wary of getting too tight on him though, because he looks a little bit uncertain. But still, we're not being threatened from behind. Let's see if I can get a good exit here. He's gone way wide into the wall. And thankfully, that's where he stayed. So okay, now clear track. Now I can concentrate on trying to build a decent lead. I did qualify about a tenth ahead. So it shouldn't be a huge spread in times, although the driver that qualified just behind me seems to have dropped right back. Let's get tight on this apex. It's a really awkward corner to get right. If you really want to push it hard, you're in danger of going into the wall on the left. It's not too bad. Need to get up on this pavement. Not doing that too well. There's a bit of curb on exit. Not really. So not really maximising the track at the moment. Rotate it around this corner. As it's a short track, you catch up with the lap cars or the back markers pretty quickly. Just gonna make for some possible interesting moments later on. But still, we've got a pretty decent gap building up behind. It's tight on here, should be on the gas earlier than that. Gotta really attack that corner. Bit late on the turn in there. Well, at least I'm using the curbing. Big gap behind, no fret. Rotate around this corner. It's a really awkward corner, the left-hander to get right. I'm going a bit... made a mess of that one. But still, you know, not on the fret from behind, building a gap. That's not too bad. Just turning in a little bit too late there, I think. There's still plenty of gap behind. Catching the driver in front. Turning in a bit late there. Bit of a recurring theme, turning in a little bit too late. And tight on this apex. Getting a bit too late, really. Not too bad, at least I got a bit of the inside. I'm taking a curve on the exit. Again, a bit too late. I'm trying to manhandle it around the that last corner a bit too much. But here we are, we're catching one of the back markers now. Let's get a bit twitchy there. A little bit concerned about getting tight on him. He is car number 3, so he should be pretty skilled, or decently skilled. Maybe has damage, I can't see any obvious issue. Yeah, that was a pretty poor corner. Trying not to get too tight on him because I'm not sure how he's going to drive this. Well, let's see if he lets me through on the exit of the turn. That's good work from him. Just letting me by. I don't mind following people around a little bit as long as they're going to do the smart thing and move aside on the straights. I'm not going to force a pass, even as the leader, unless I'm absolutely up against it. If I have somebody right behind me, I'm going to, you know, let the driver ahead move aside on a straight. But it's, you know, it's one of those two-way streets. You've got to do that. If the driver behind is being considerate enough to not try to force it, then you have a responsibility really to move aside when it's convenient to you. Yeah, there's not an awful lot of time to rest on this track. There always seems to be something happening, which is where the challenge really is for it. The Suzuki have maybe 2 long straights where you got a little bit of time to relax, but you don't really have much time to relax here. Just passed about a third of the way through the race. This is where it becomes a test of concentration. Running in clear track, nobody close up front. Getting quite a gap behind. Get down a third for the corner. So totally clear track behind. Slowly around that corner. Big gap behind. Get across to the left there. Decent turning. If you get a good turning, you can get on the gas a little bit earlier. That's pretty close. Again, just keep it tight on this apex, get it rotated. Look for the corner opening out and then back on the gas. Lots of space behind. Bit too late turning in again. Always hard to find the reference point here for a turn-in. Doing it off kind of peripheral vision, which is not ideal. Again, this is a awkward corner to get a reference point on. You just have to do it on repetition. About halfway through the race now. Nothing up ahead. Again, it's a decent strength of field race, so there shouldn't be anybody that's really desperately slow. Oh, that was close. Just got a little bit of dirt on the apex there. That is car number 13 on lap number 13. Push it across again. Tighten that apex, harden the gas. Could have been a bit harder a bit earlier there. Trick there is to get the right front onto the curbing. Once you know that you're in that position, then you can give it 100% gas. Again, the test really now is just concentration, just making sure that you take every single corner one at a time. Can't allow yourself to start thinking about a win. The temptation when you have a big gap is to start thinking about that, but you've really got to put that right out of your mind and just concentrate on one corner at a time. Start setting yourself little goals, little things you want to do, corners you want to improve on. Anything to just keep your concentration up. Down a third gear, rotate around the corner, getting a bit wide here. That's slowed me down quite a bit. It's a really awkward corner. It's the most awkward corner on the whole track. The only left-hander. In good conditions, when you get that corner right, you can go 100% through turn 4 down to turn 5. So a little, well, it's quite a bit more difficult with these conditions. And take that curbing, get off it towards the end. Get up on that curbing and full power. Really important to get a proper turn in on that corner, otherwise you can drift off to the left. It's very easy to fall off the track there. Just get it, I tighten that apex. Pretty poor corner, but as I say, I've got plenty of space behind. Still nothing ahead. Taking a bit easy now. Still clear track ahead and behind. Probably getting the angle wrong on entrance there, a little bit cutting across it a bit too much. Maybe need a wider entrance. Still lots and lots of space in behind. Took that a bit poorly, but I always prefer to take a corner a little too early than too late. Inside the last 10 laps. Drifting way wide there, that's the danger. Just rotate it around this corner. Want to be a bit tighter than that, to be honest. Didn't get the exit curb. Absolutely clear track in behind. And again, you've got to just avoid taking this too complacently. And it's complacency and lack of concentration that are really going to get you in this sort of situation. Just counting down the laps. It's a little bit better, but it could have been harder on the gas earlier. That's about 5 laps to go now. And keep it tight at that apex, avoid drifting too far. And keep it tight on this. A little bit late again. It's taking a bit easy around here. I need to really push it all out hard. At the same time, when you relax too much is when you tend to run into problems. And you're getting tight in the apex. I just want to avoid running wide here. Don't want to end up on the grass. It's not too bad, but and it's a bit of a struggle getting it around there. Too wide. Again, as we exit here, nothing in front of us and nothing in behind. So is that concern later on in the race when you start to wonder about lap traffic and whether someone's going to pop up unexpectedly later on? Just worried I was going a bit too wide left there actually. I could have turned in a bit earlier, been a bit more aggressive there. Kind of turned in and then didn't really follow through with it. Bit late again. Okay, down to the last 3 laps I think. Tight on that apex. Clear track behind, clear track in front. So, you know, worst case scenario, if I do catch anybody, I can basically just roll it around the track after them. Don't need to pass anybody at this point, I've got such a big gap. Not really pushing it hard. Just putting in decent laps, maintaining, well, actually increasing gap. There's been quite a bit of changeover behind me, so nobody's been able to put in any kind of really solid laps. So when there have been people behind me, for any length of time, it would come up to another car. But whenever there has been anyone behind me, just as I've began to think about pushing it a little bit harder to maintain gap, they've dropped back. So it's ended up working out well for me. Again, clear track behind. No need to really push it too hard. Just got to keep looking ahead. Important to keep looking out for problems further down the track. As we go through the closing laps, that's one of your main issues, just making sure you don't come up against something unexpected. It looks as though the driver ahead's pretty competent. So I think this is the last lap. And don't need to do anything remarkable, just walk it around the last few corners. Nice and safe, nice and easy. Well, that's a pretty quick corner there. Just get it around here and accelerate out. And there we have the win. There you go. It's 4 wins in a row. Now, they've all been pretty decent gaps in the end. That's a good win. Pretty happy with that. Qualified pole. Just managed to put in a time that was within 3/10 of my PB at the time. So you know, that's a pretty good qualifying performance, or a decent qualifying performance, and pretty happy with the start. And now it's just been a case of staying out of trouble and keeping concentration. But every race, however it turns out, is always a test of one thing or another. Here we go into the pit lane. Let's get it slowed down. So that's it's been a pretty successful start to the new season so far. Hope you enjoyed that race. Not a huge amount of action, but that's Lime Rock for you sometimes. See you next time.